The US-led coalitions carried out airstrikes on Syrian pro-government forces near the town of Al-Tanf, that's close to the border with Iraq. The Pentagon says that the troops struck it were operating inside a so-called de-confliction zone. Now, it's an area of particular strategic significance. You can see on the map, all the parties to the conflict have been operating there, in fact. It lies on the most direct route between Damascus and Iraq. Now, if Assad's forces do take it, they'll also secure a direct route to Iran as well, their closest ally in the region. Maupin next explains what might have motivated Washington to carry out this attack.
For the second time in 3 weeks, the United States has attacked government forces in Syria. The attack took place in the region of Al-Tanf, which is a strategic location on the road between Baghdad and Damascus. Now, just like last time, the United States says that the area is a well-established de-confliction zone and that they were simply protecting themselves.
That was, again, as the chairman pointed out, self-defense of our forces inside an established and agreed-upon de-confliction zone.
Well, that sounds great until you look at the actual facts. The only de-confliction zones on the map in Syria are the ones established by Iran, Turkey, and Russia, and even these are still in the process of being formed.
Now work is underway to finalize specific details related to security, monitoring of the fulfillment of the ceasefire obligations, and other details related to the establishment of crossing points to and from the safe zones.
And why does that matter anyhow? U.S. officials have already made clear that they don't feel obligated to honor de-confliction zones, despite using them as justification for attacks.
We don't recognize any specific zone in itself that we preclude ourselves from operating in.
Now, U.S. coalition forces are in Syria without any authorization from either the United Nations or the internationally recognized Syrian government. So how is it that unwelcome foreign troops can be protecting themselves in someone else's country? Now, the U.S. says that their coalition forces are only in Syria to help train opposition troops.
Coalition forces have been operating in the Al-Tanf area for many months, training and advising vetted Syrian partner forces engaged in the fight against ISIS.
Now, the USA has ramped up its support for the Syrian Kurds who are currently fighting against ISIS. But what will these forces do once ISIS is out of the picture?
The U.S. says it supports Syrian sovereignty, and yet it's effectively taking control of an area, a chunk of Syria, and claiming that Syrian army cannot go there. The U.S. Coalition claims their primary goal is to fight ISIS, yet here they are attacking the Syrian army and the Syrian army allies, which are the major force fighting ISIS. Again, it's aggression masquerading as self-defense.
Now, many viewers might be thinking, fighting happens in Syria every day, so what's the big deal? Well, attacking the Syrian government is no small matter. The Syrian government is every day on the front lines against ISIS. Russia has called an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, and a lot of people around the world are getting nervous. Maupin, RT, New York.